so let's be deliberate with every minute. Our work will require true collaboration. We know that each of us brings a different perspective to this chamber. And while we know we won't agree on everything, we share an understanding of the challenges facing our state. And we share the responsibility to do something about them. Progress here in this building has never come easy. It comes from not shying away from hard conversations, from being persistent, and from having the fortitude to stay at the table, even when it would be easier to walk away. Together, let's approach this session with the seriousness and purpose that the moment demands and that our constituents deserve. Let's be thoughtful and committed to delivering results that make their lives more affordable and more secure. Let's respect this institution and one another. And let's get to work. Thank you. In order to proceed, the House will now adopt rules for the 2026 regular session. The 2026 regular session rules of the 83rd Legislative Assembly have been distributed electronically and to your email boxes. The chair requests unanimous consent to suspend the rules to consider the report by the Special Committee on Rules immediately. Is there any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. The clerk will read the report by the Special Committee on Rules.
We, your Special Committee on Rules, recommend that the House of Representatives adopt the rules of the 83rd Legislative Assembly as amended. Signed, Representative David Gomberg, Chair, Representative Dacia Graber, Representative Virgil Osborne.
Representative Gomberg, your motion, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move adoption of the report by the Special Committee on Rules.
Representative Gomberg moves adoption of the report by the Special Committee on Rules. To your motion.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning to you and good morning, colleagues. Your bipartisan Committee on Rules met several times to discuss a number of different proposals for changes to our ongoing rule process. The conversations were thoughtful and wide-ranging, and there were a number of areas where we came to a consensus of approval. Most of those, Madam Speaker, are fairly de minimis changes, but I'll draw attention to two in particular. One regards the fact that we now have a bicameral member lounge, and the rules now address that change and access to it. The second rule regards, again, the fact that our building has changed over the last couple of years, and many of you will recall that over the last few years, should we be operating under a call of the House, which means that you cannot leave the chamber, and during that call, you might also suffer a call of nature. The rules required that you be escorted to the restroom by a member of the Sergeant of Arms staff, who would then wait outside the door until you were finished and then escort you back to the chamber. I'm very pleased to announce now that with the changes in the Capitol structure, there are in fact restrooms just 10 feet from where our speaker is standing right now, either through the door on our right or through the access on the side. There are restrooms outside that area, and we are adjusting our rules now to include those areas within the definition of the chamber, meaning that, forgive me, we now have chambers within the chamber. And you can have access to them should you need to under a call of the House. Madam Speaker, those are the areas where we came to a consensus. There are other matters that were discussed. It was a thoughtful conversation. I want to thank all of the members of the Rules Committee for their participation in this process, and I recommend adoption of the motion.
Thank you, Representative. Is there further discussion? Representative Mannix.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the motion.
To the motion.
I respect and appreciate all the work that the committee has done, and I appreciate their response to physical changes in this chamber, in this Capitol, in terms of the rules. There are some things, there's one thing in particular which has not been addressed. From 1859 until 2008, we had no rule restricting the receipt of campaign contributions while the legislature is in session. In 2008, we adopted that restriction as part of our rules, and it remains in our rules. But we now have on hand an opinion of our legislative council that this rule violates the United States Constitution and violates the Oregon Constitution. Interestingly enough, it's not so much in regard to the free speech of the members of this chamber, our opportunity to speak. It's in regard to the right of the voters to present their opinions by making contributions to candidates for public office whenever they choose to do so. So because I'm aware of that Legislative Council opinion, which just recently was delivered, I'm going to vote no on the adoption of these rules because the rules do not change that restriction.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? Representative Yunker,
Campaign finance, I like it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the motion.
to the motion.
Today, I rise in opposition to the rules being proposed before us. As a veteran of this nation, a third-generation veteran, I've always understood my service as a sworn oath to defend the freedoms granted to us, not by government, but by our Creator and the safeguard of our founding fathers. I not fight for convenience or comfort. I fought to protect liberty, even when it's uncomfortable and even when it's unpopular. I also took an oath when I assumed this position of office. That oath requires me to follow and uphold both the United States Constitution and the Oregon Constitution. Chief among those liberties is the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. The First Amendment is clear and unambiguous. It guarantees the freedom of speech, the freedom of press,
Not all
the freedom
speech.
to peacefully assemble, and the right to petition the government for redress grievance. These rights are not constitutional. These are not reserved only for those whom we agree. They are exits precisely to protect dissident voices, minority opinions, and criticism of those in power. The Oregon Constitution reinforces these principles even more explicitly in Article 1, Section 8 states that no law shall be passed restraining the free expression of opinion, restricting the right to speak, write, or print freely on any subject whatever. That language is intentional. It leaves no room for selective enforcement or political convenience. Now let's talk about Rule 27, which has been weaponized against me and others for doing exactly what our founding fathers warned would be necessary in a free republic. In 2025, I stood on this floor and spoke on a subject that was admittedly opposing by my constituents in my district, that was very nature of representative government. Yet rather than engaging the substance of my remarks, my speech was later used against me because someone claimed it was hostile or made them feel uncomfortable. Discomfort, however, it's not a constitutional standard. Let us also remember the Oregon Constitution. Oregon Article 4, Section 26 recognizes remonstrance as a form of protest. Protest is not misconduct. Protest is a protective speech. Rule 27 has also been used against other members in this for statements made outside this building, including expression of desire to see more Christians elected to public office. Whether one agrees with that statement nor is it irrelevant. The First Amendment does not protect speech based on popularity, ideology, or political approval. Now these same rules are being used to silence myself and others regarding our ability to run for office. This body is voting to restrain not only my right, but the right of every member to collect voluntary donations from the constituents who wish to support our campaigns. Leadership has been informed that these provisions raise serious First Amendment concerns. Yet instead of correcting them, amending them, this body has chosen to do nothing. We are told this session will focus on balance between federal authorities and states' rights. But I must ask, what about my rights and the rights of my constituents to speak freely? I was elected to uphold the Constitution, and I sworn an oath to do so. Furthermore, leadership has provided a legal opinion by Legislative Council stating that House Rules 19.
I would suspect all that we're going to be doing is talking about protests and frozen water. This is going to be a silly season, I'm sure.
By not fixing it or removing it entirely from today's vote. For these reasons, I cannot support these rules, nor can I in good conscience comply with rules that violates my First Amendment rights. These rules before us today move us in the opposite direction, whether intentional or not. They risk chilling speech, discouraging participation, narrowing the range of viewpoints allowed in this chamber and public square. This should concern every one of us, regardless of party, ideology, or position. Freedom of speech does not exist to protect speech that is easy or agreeable. It exists to protect speech that challenges authority, questions process, and demands accountability. Once we begin limiting those freedoms through
Also, we would like to be able to afford groceries sometime soon. So that'd be great.
all demons and foreign domestic, that oath did not expire when I took off the uniform, nor did it end when I swore into office. It does not come with exceptions, rules, or decorum, or political expediency. For these reasons, out of respect to the Constitution we sworn to uphold, I must oppose the rules opposed today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion? Representative Osborne.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the motion.
To the motion.
Madam Speaker, first I want to note that I'm appreciative to have been on the Rules Committee. I think it's an important thing, and we all have to kind of agree to have rules. Otherwise, we have craziness in the House, so it's a good thing. I would be remiss not to speak about the same things that my colleagues just spoke of. I do want to start out with, when it comes to the First Amendment, I know that that's very important to all of us, regardless of your partisanship. It's very important to us.
So, on the agenda for the legislative session today is in the House. They are discussing agriculture, land use, natural resources, and water, adoption of committee rules. They're going to do a public hearing of House Bill 4005. Designates the first Saturday of October of each year through the end of the Sunday of the following week as Water Professionals Appreciation Week. Because you need that. You need Appreciation Week. Amendments for HB 4004 have been requested, will be made available on OLIS. That's where you can go track these bills as soon as possible. Please refer to meeting materials for amendments and summary. HB 4004 provides additional taxes otherwise imposed upon disqualification of land from certain forest land special assessment programs may not be collected if the disqualification is due to the suspension of reforestation requirements as a result of insects or disease. HB 4097 authorizes the Oregon Ocean Science Trust to create and maintain a nonprofit organization. House Bill 4034 provides veterinary facilities do not qualify as animal rescue entities for purposes of regulating animal rescue entities. They will be taking public testimony, written testimony, and then at 1 p.m., HR 70. This notice provides the meeting schedule and topics. The official meeting agenda will be posted today. HB 4005 designates the first Sunday of October, which we have already read. So that's HR 70 at 1 p.m. Behavioral health will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Climate, energy, and environment tomorrow at 8 a.m. I might pop over to Senate. They had some interesting stuff, but let's continue.
Perhaps before the body, especially with bill limits, that there are some other rules that need to be considered as a response to future legislation. And I want to put a marker down that next week I will be having or trying to introduce two draft concepts for the Rules Committee to consider. Didn't have time during the break, wanted to make sure and do it in a public manner. That's why I'm doing it that way. And when it comes to this other issue that I think everybody recognizes, when LC has one opinion on one side and there's another LC opinion on the other, that instead of doing something fast, it's important to actually take the time and recognize the time, place, and manner is really the guide for the First Amendment and expression, and that perhaps between now and next session we can actually look at that through a lens that isn't heated by campaign and the fury of trying to keep up with the Joneses. So I'm going to be a yes today, but I want to put a marker down that I'm going to be bringing forward some ideas next week.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion. Representative Toteson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the motion to adopt the rules.
To the motion.
I showed up today thinking about what a privilege it is to get to come into this building and represent my constituents, and especially in the moment that we're in, trying to solve big problems. And I really appreciate you starting that, Madam Speaker, talking about the range of big problems that we're here to solve in the 35 days that we have. I support these rules because I think the rules are here to help us solve those problems, and the rules that have been put forward, I think, will do a great job at helping to make sure that we can stay focused on the things that Oregonians actually care about. My constituents have never asked me to make it easier for us to campaign during the 35 days of this year that we have to create legislation. My constituents want us to avoid any appearance of conflicts of interest. They want us to be above approach. They want us to make sure that we hold ourselves to a higher standard. And in fact, all of these rules are us holding ourselves to a higher standard than the law would require. We have rules of decorum about how we speak and when we speak and where we walk because we hold ourselves to a higher standard than the law requires. And so I think there are interesting legal questions about enforceability, and if my colleagues want to challenge those in court or want to see what the enforcement mechanisms are, they certainly are free to do so. But I will happily support these rules because they help us get back on track.
I'm going to pop over to the Senate. I think they have some more interesting things. Let's see.
Relating to elections, Senate Bill 1509, relating to electors of President and Vice President of the United States, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1510, relating to taxation, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1511, relating to the estate tax. Senate Bill 1512, relating to workforce development. Senate Bill 1513, relating to real estate professionals, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1514, relating to the regulation of public property with respect to persons experiencing homelessness, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1515, relating to wrongful convictions, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1516, relating to public safety, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1517, relating to civil litigation. Senate Bill 1518, relating to worker protection. Senate Bill 1519, relating to total disability. Senate Bill 1520, relating to administration of monies within the paid family and medical leave insurance fund, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1521, relating to local requirements to develop affordable housing. Senate Bill 1522, relating to housing. Senate Bill 1523, relating to electronic access to residential tenancies, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1524, relating to horse racing. Senate Bill 1525, relating to organizations relevant to Oregon's coastal resources, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1526, relating to facilitation of projects. Senate Bill 1527, relating to healthcare. Senate Bill 1528, relating to healthcare. Senate Bill 1529, relating to healthcare. Senate Bill 1530, relating to crime, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1531, relating to funding for emergency medical services. Senate Bill 1532, relating to services for vulnerable persons, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1533, relating to the rights of children in care, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1534, relating to the welfare of young people, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1535, relating to child care. Senate Bill 1536, relating to educational assessment. Senate Bill 1537, relating to boards of education of community college districts, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1538, relating to conduct of public education, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1539, relating to providing animal health care. Senate Bill 1540, relating to property insurance, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1541, relating to greenhouse gas emissions, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1542, relating to transportation. Senate Bill 1543, relating to transportation, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1544, relating to transportation. Senate Bill 1545, relating to corner crossing, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1546, relating to artificial intelligence companions. Senate Bill 1547, relating to licensed behavioral health and wellness practitioners, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1548, relating to marijuana, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1549, relating to tax credit for political contributions, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1550, relating to scrutinizing deaths. Senate Bill 1551, relating to fire hardening of residential properties, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1552, relating to transfer of real property, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1553, relating to wildfires resulting from the fault of an electric company, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1554, relating to infants born alive. Senate Bill 1555, relating to constitutional requirements for public education appropriations, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1556, relating to representation of persons in the magistrate division of the Oregon Tax Court, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1557, relating to courts. Senate Bill 1558, relating to hospital staffing. Senate Bill 1559, relating to healthcare. Senate Bill 1560, relating to allowable uses of place of worship. Senate Bill 1561, relating to restoration of damages damaged by involuntary causes, Senate Bill 1562, relating to local taxation, prescribing an effective date, Senate Bill 1563, relating to civil rights, prescribing an effective date, Senate Bill 1564, relating to the city of Woodburn's urban growth boundary, prescribing an effective date, Senate Bill 1565, relating to snowmobiles, prescribing an effective date, Senate Bill 1566, relating to the prevailing rate of wage, prescribing an effective date, Senate Bill 1567, relating to mixed income housing, prescribing an effective date, Senate Bill 1568, relating to perinatal services, declaring an emergency, Senate Bill 1569, relating to public employee retirement. Senate Bill 1570, relating to protections in healthcare facilities. Senate Bill 1571, relating to consumer products for adults, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1572, relating to education, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1573, relating to syringe service programs. Senate Bill 1574, relating to voting at primary elections. Senate Bill 1575, relating to hospice licensure, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1576, relating to accessibility standards for housing, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1577, relating to labeling of alternative protein food products. Senate Bill 1578, relating to rural and residential development. Senate Bill 1579, relating to false reports of child abuse, prescribing an effective
There's a lot of emergencies. I don't know how many of them are legit.
date. Senate Bill 1580, relating to compensation for journalism. Senate Bill 1581, relating to school meals, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1582, relating to energy, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1583, relating to substance use. Senate Bill 1584, relating to the creation of credits for the restoration of salmon habitat, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1585, relating to matched grants for cities, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1586, related to economic development, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1587, relating to data brokers, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1588, relating to inclusive utility investments programs. Use Senate Bill 1589, relating to lobbying, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1590, relating to public lands, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1591, relating to an inland port, prescribing an effective date. Senate Bill 1592, relating to primary elections. Senate Bill 1593, relating to recreation, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1594, relating to immigration, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1595, relating to professional workforce, declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 1596, relating to play-based learning. Senate Bill 1597, relating to energy generation, prescribing an effective date.
SCR 207 is transmitted to the Rules Committee. The remaining bills are transmitted to the President's desk for referral. First reading list was distributed to members. The pertinent information will be recorded in the journal and the status report. So ordered. I made the following committee assignments. Committee on General Government, Commerce, Senator Mark Meek, Chair. Senator Christine Drazen, Vice Chair. Senator Courtney Neron-Mislin, Senator Confam, Senator Noah Robinson. Committee on Early Childhood and Behavioral Health, Senator Lisa Reynolds, Chair. Senator Dick Anderson, Vice Chair. Senator Sarah Gelser-Bluen, Senator Diane Linthicum, Senator Deb Patterson. Committee on Education, Senator Lou Frederick, Chair. Senator Suzanne Weber, Vice Chair. Senator Courtney Neron-Mislin, Senator Noah Robinson, Senator Janine Solman. Committee on Energy and Environment, Senator Janine Solman, Chair. Senator David Brock Smith, Vice Chair. Senator Confam, Senator Noah Robinson, Senator Jeff Goldman. Committee on Finance and Revenue, Senator Anthony Broadman, Chair. Senator Mike McLean, Vice Chair. Senator Deb Patterson, Senator Dick Anderson, Senator Kathleen Taylor. Committee on Healthcare, Senator Deb Patterson, Chair. Senator Cedric Hayden, Vice Chair. Senator Winsvey Campos, Senator Diane Linthicum, Senator Lisa Reynolds. Committee on Housing and Development, Senator Confam, Chair. Senator Dick Anderson, Vice Chair. Senator Casey Jama, Senator Todd Nash, Senator Deb Patterson. Committee on Human Services, Senator Sarah Gelser-Bluen, Chair. Senator Diane Linthicum, Vice Chair. Senator Lisa Reynolds, Senator Christine Drazen, Senator Floyd Przanski. Committee on Judiciary, Senator Floyd Przanski, Chair. Senator Kim Thatcher, Vice Chair. Senator James Manning, Jr., Senator Mike McLean, Senator Anthony Broadman, Senator Sarah Gelser-Bluen. Committee on Labor and Business, Senator Kathleen Taylor, Chair. Senator Cedric Hayden, Vice Chair. Senator Winsvey Campos, Senator Christine Drazen, Senator Deb Patterson. Committee on Natural Resources and Wildlife, Senator Jeff Golden, Chair. Senator Todd Nash, Vice Chair. Senator Kathleen Taylor, Senator Fred Gerard, Senator Floyd Przanski. Committee on Rules, Senator Casey Jama, Chair. Senator Bruce Starr, Vice Chair. Senator James Manning, Senator Kim Thatcher, Senator Jeff Goldman. Committee on Transportation, Senator Chris Gorsuch, Chair. Senator Suzanne Weber, Vice Chair. Senator Confam, Senator Bruce Starr, Senator Lou Frederick. Committee on Veterans, Emergency Management, Federal and World Affairs, Senator James Manning, Jr., Chair. Senator Kim Thatcher, Vice Chair. Senator Mark Meek, Senator David Brock Smith, Senator Courtney Neron-Mislin. Joint Committee on Oregon-China Sister State, Senator Rob Wagner, Co-Chair. Senator Lou Frederick, Senator Todd Nash. Joint Committee on Information Management and Technology, Senator Confam, Co-Chair. Senator Christine Drazen, Senator Mark Meek. Joint Committee on Interstate 5 Bridge, Senator Lou Frederick, Co-Chair. Senator Bruce Starr, Senator Chris Gorsuch, Senator Suzanne Weber. Joint Committee on Legislative Administration, Senator Rob Wagner, Co-Chair. Senator Dick Anderson, Senator James Manning, Jr., Senator Bruce Starr, Senator Deb Patterson. Alternate, Senator Janine Solman. Joint Committee on Legislative Audits, Senator Kate Lieber, co-chair, Senator Noah Robinson, co-vice chair, Senator Anthony Broadman, Senator Bruce Starr, Senator Kathleen Taylor. Joint Committee on Legislative Counsel, Senator Rob Wagner, co-chair, Senator Bruce Starr, Senator James Manning Jr., Senator Mike McLean, Senator Floyd Brzezinski. Joint Committee on Legislative Policy and Research, Senator Rob Wagner, co-chair, Senator Bruce Starr, Senator Winston Campos, Senator David Brock Smith, Senator Lou Frederick, Senator Kim Thatcher. Joint Committee on Transportation Oversight, Senator Confam, co-chair, Senator Suzanne Weber, co-vice chair, Senator Chris Gorsuch. Joint Committee on Ways and Means, Senator Kate Lieber, co-chair, Senator Fred Gerard, co-vice chair, Senator Winston Campos, Senator Mike McLean, Senator Lou Frederick, Senator David Brock Smith, Senator James Manning Jr., Senator Bruce Starr, Senator Janine Sullivan, Senator Dick Anderson, Senator Courtney Neuron-Mislin. Joint Ways and Means Subcommittee on Capital Construction, Senator Fred Gerard, co-chair, Senator Lou Frederick, Senator Mike McLean, Senator Kate Lieber, Senator Rob Wagner. Joint Ways and Means Subcommittee on Education, Senator Janine Solomon, co-chair, Senator Suzanne Weber, Senator Lou Frederick. Joint Committee Ways and Means Subcommittee on General Government, Senator Chris Gorsuch, co-chair, Senator Dick Anderson, Senator Mark Meek. Joint Ways and Means Subcommittee on Human Services, Senator Winston Campos, co-chair, Senator Cedric Hayden, Senator Sarah Gelser-Bloom. Joint Ways and Means Subcommittee on Natural Resources, Senator Courtney Neuron-Mislin, co-chair, Senator Todd Nash, Senator Lou Frederick. Joint Ways and Means Subcommittee on Public Safety, Senator Anthony Broadman, co-chair, Senator David Brock Smith, Senator James Manning Jr. Joint Ways and Means Subcommittee on Transportation and Economic Development, Senator Jeff Golden, co-chair, Senator Mike McLean, Senator Chris Gorsuch. The Senate will briefly be at ease while the Senate Rules Committee meets in the back of the chamber to consider Senate Concurrent Resolution 207. We are at ease.
Pop over to see what's going on on the House.
Bill 4096 relating to felon in possession of a firearm. House Bill 4097 relating to Oregon Ocean Science Trust. House Bill 4098 relating to violations of the Insurance Code as unlawful trade practices. House Bill 4099 relating to Task Force on Veterans in Crisis, declaring effective date. House Bill 4100 relating to bulk fuel terminals, declaring emergency. House Bill 4101 relating to offensive fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, prescribed effective date. House Bill 4102 relating to Department of Environmental Quality regulation processes, prescribed effective date. House Bill 4103 relating to artificial intelligence.
They're just going to go through the bills.
Reliable forest management outcomes, declare emergency. House Bill 4106 relating to transportation of persons subject to involuntary treatment, prescribed effective date. House Bill 4107 relating to urgent care centers. House Bill 4108 relating to annexation of land non-contiguous to a city. House Bill 4109 relating to unemployment insurance benefits. House Bill 4110 relating to Ibogaine, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4111, relating to immigration-related practices, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4112, relating to outdoor school, declared emergency. House Bill 4113, relating to housing development opportunities, conditioned upon land conservation. House Bill 4114, relating to law enforcement operations, declared emergency. House Bill 4115, relating to healthcare providers, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4116, relating to consumer finance loans, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4117, relating to universal representation, declared emergency. House Bill 4118, relating to food, declared emergency. House Bill 4119, relating to workers' compensation. House Bill 4120, relating to smoking policies and residential tenancies. House Bill 4121, relating to emergency management. House Bill 4122, relating to student government at public universities. House Bill 4123, relating to landlord disclosure of confidential information, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4124, relating to state post-secondary education system, declared emergency. House Bill 4125, relating to revenue estimates, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4126, relating to road use charges, declared emergency. House Bill 4127, relating to Medicaid payments to reproductive health care providers, declared emergency. House Bill 4128, relating to sale of single-family residencies. House Bill 4129, relating to fuel, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4130, relating to farm use. House Bill 4131, relating to mobile pharmacies, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4132, relating to veterans, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4133, relating to alignment with federal education law, declared emergency. House Bill 4134, relating to funding for natural resource matters, prescribed and effective date, providing for revenue raising that requires approval by 3/5 majority. House Bill 4135, relating to HPV awareness day, declared emergency. House Bill 4136, relating to tax treatment of mortgage interest, prescribed and effective date. House Bill 4137, relating to transfer of interest in motor vehicles. House Bill 4138, relating to limitations on the actions of public employees, declared emergency. House Bill 4139, relating to cannabis, prescribing an effective date, providing for revenue raising that requires approval by 3/5 majority. House Bill 4140, relating to metal property. House Bill 4141, relating to debt resolution services, prescribing an effective date. House Bill 4142, relating to marijuana for medical use, prescribing an effective date. House Bill 4143, relating to payments to the federal government, prescribing an effective date. House Bill 4144, relating to batteries. House Bill 4145, relating to firearms, declared an emergency. House Bill 4146, relating to alcohol, prescribing an effective date, providing for revenue raising that requires approval by 3/5 majority. House Bill 4147, relating to medical assistance, prescribing an effective date. House Bill 4148, relating to local taxation, prescribing an effective date. House Bill 4149, relating to homeless students. House Bill 4150, relating to recipients of public funds, declare emergency. House Bill 4151, relating to initiating a false report. House Bill 4152, relating to remote marriage solemnization by deployed persons. House Bill 4153, relating to farm stores. House Bill 4154, relating to student attendance data, prescribing an effective date. House Bill 4155, relating to infertility, declare emergency. House Bill 4156, relating to medical assistance, reimbursements of emergency medical services, declare emergency. House Bill 4157, relating to hearsay, prescribing an effective date.
Bills read first time are passed to the Speaker's desk for referral. Second reading of House bills. Consent calendar. Third reading of House bills. Final readings, memorials, and resolutions. Bills, reports, and other business lying on the table. Colleagues, we are waiting for some paperwork from the Senate, so I am going to ask for, the chair's going to request unanimous consent to temporarily advance to the order of business of announcements. Is there any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. Under announcements, I have a few announcements to make. So first, I want to thank Representative Sanchez for once again providing the beautiful flowers that we have up at the dais. I always appreciate her sharing her talents with us and making our days a little bit brighter. So thank you. And then I'd also like to thank Al's Garden Center and the Oregon Association of Nurseries for the plants on your desks. The clerk's office has asked me to request that you take those back to your offices as soon as possible. Also at your desk are your per diem and lounge forms for the 2026 legislative session. Please sign and leave those forms at your desk, and the chief's clerk's office will come around and pick them up. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, February 3rd, is Representative Bunch's birthday. So if you see him tomorrow, please wish him a happy birthday. Are there further announcements? Seeing none, we are back under the order of business of bills, reports, and other business lying on the table. And I'm going to ask us to stand at ease for a few minutes while we check on the Senate.
That the poll is to be suspended in order to that the Senate may take action on second and third reading of SCR 207.
Senator Jama moves that the rules be suspended in order that the Senate may take action on second and third reading of SCR 207. Senator Jama, to your motion.
This will help us to take action this item today.
Seeing no one in the queue, without objection, the Senate rules are suspended in order that the second and third reading on SCR 207. Second reading of Senate measures.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 207, establishing procedural rules for legislative branch.
Pass to the calendar. Third reading of Senate measures. Clerk will please read the resolution.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 207, establishing procedural rules for legislative branch.
Recognize Senator Jama.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the deadline resolution for this session, and let's pass this key and will keep us things on track and order.
Thank you, Senator. Discussion. Seeing no one in the queue for discussion, Senator Jama, do you wish to close? He does not. The question now arises upon the third reading and final adoption of Senate Concurrent Resolution 207. Those who have the opinion the measure should be adopted will answer aye as their names are called. All those opposed, no. The clerk will please call the roll.
Campos, Drazen, Frederick, Gilser Bluen, Jabrod, Golden, Gorsuch, Hayden, Jama, Lieber, Linthicum, Manning, McLean, Meek, Nash, Yaron Mislin, Patterson, Pham, Przonski, Reynolds, Robinson, Brock Smith, Solman, Starr, Taylor, Thatcher, Weber, Anderson,
SCR 207.
Brodman, President Wagner.
Aye.
Excuse. Voting nay. Drazen, Linthicum, Robinson, Brock Smith, Thatcher, 25 ayes.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 207, having received a constitutional majority, is declared adopted. Action on executive appointments requiring Senate confirmation. Introduction to first reading of Senate measures. Second reading of Senate measures. Third reading of Senate measures. First reading of House measures. Second reading of House measures. Third reading of House measures. Other business of the Senate. The clerk will please read the proposed amendments to Senate Rule 18.01 sub 1.
Proposed amendments to Senate Rules 18.01 Legislative Branch Personnel and Contracting Rules. 1. Delete September 25th, 2024. Add January 14th, 2026. 4. Delete January 26th, 2022. Add January 14th, 2026.
Per Senate Rule 2.05, the proposed amendments have been proposed in writing, read, and distributed to members' desks. Messages from the House.
Mr. President, I am directed by the Speaker to inform you that the House of Representatives of the 83rd Legislative Assembly was organized and is ready for the business of the 2026 regular session.
Announcements. Colleagues, just a couple last pieces of business. I had Obie and Carol jumping up and down from the back of the chamber, reminding me to hold up your lounge participation forms as well as your per diem forms that have been distributed to your desks. Please return them to the Secretary of the Senate as soon as possible. We are shooting for 100% of member participation, given that we are both open with the House, with the lounge. So thank you so much for returning those swiftly to Obie and the team. Also, I wanted to note that per history custom, I would like to thank our uniformed state police trooper in the back today, who will be joining us during every floor session. We thank our Oregon State Police so much for keeping us safe and secure, for the work that we do on behalf of the people in the Oregon State Senate, for people in the Capitol. And finally, colleagues, please do join us all for a reception for coffee and pastries in the Senate second floor lounge here immediately following session, co-hosted by me and the other caucus leaders. Thank you, Senator Starr and Senator Jama as well. Additional announcements. Recognize Senator Birthday Boy McLean.
Thank you. Return to courtesies.
Without objection.
Colleagues, I'm on the board of the Classroom or Civics Learning Project, which is a wonderful program in the state. Last weekend was the statewide competition for We the People. It was an annual competition and a civics championship. Teams took up complex legal and moral questions and simulated congressional hearings spanning topics such as freedom of speech and the First Amendment, congressional powers, and societal change. Civics Learning Project is a program that also has moot court competition. It's statewide, and I'm proud to be a board member and an advocate for them. But I wanted to announce the statewide winners here because some of them, you know, obviously are in our districts. And it's important that as we begin our session here, a constitutional obligation, that we recognize the good work done by the volunteers and others. We congratulate Grant High School for becoming the 2026 state champion. Lincoln High School is the wild card winner for nationals. Third place, Cleveland High School, followed by Central Catholic High School, followed by McDaniels High, and finally Lake Oswego High School. Other regional competition also included Aloha, Franklin, De La Salle, North Catholic High School, Roosevelt High, Sprague High, and Westview High. So an extend and courtesies to the Civics Learning Project and all the great work to teach our kids that civics is essential and that robust debate should be debate. And we still today, no matter what they hear or see, gather together in Salem to debate and practice civics. So congratulations to the winners. Good luck at nationals.
Thank you, Senator. Any additional announcements? Seeing no one in the queue for announcements, without objection, the Senate is adjourned until 11 a.m. Thursday, February 5th. Pastries.
Let's head back over to the House.
Messages from the Senate.
Madam Speaker, I'm directed by the President to inform you the Senate has adopted SCR 207.
The chair requests unanimous consent to suspend the rules to temporarily return to the order of business of first readings of memorials and resolutions. Is there objection? Hearing none, so ordered. First reading memorials and resolution.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 207, establishing procedural rules for legislative branch.
Measure read first time is passed to the Speaker's desk for referral. The chair requests unanimous consent to suspend the rules to temporarily return to the order of business of final reading memorials and resolutions. Is there objection? Hearing none, so ordered. The chair requests unanimous consent to suspend the rules to read SCR 207 for a final time and consider the measure immediately. Is there any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. The clerk will read the resolution.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 207, establishing procedural rules for legislative branch.
Question now arises on final reading and consideration of SCR 207. Representative Bowman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This resolution establishes joint procedures and deadlines to guide the work of this short session. I urge your adoption.
Thank you, Representative. Is there further discussion? Representative Reschke.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the resolution.
To the resolution.
So I see the ending date is the constitutional ending date in the resolution. I would have much preferred to see February 25th as the ending date of this body. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, Representative Bowman, do you wish to close? He does not. Those of the opinion that SCR 207 should be adopted will vote aye. Those opposed, no. The clerk will open the voting system. Representative Osborne, how do you vote? Osborne votes no. Representative Reschke, how do you vote? Reschke votes no. SCR 207, oh, excuse, Bobby Levy, Munoz, Pham, Valderrama, and Wright. SCR 207, having received the required majority, is declared adopted. We are under the order of business of bills, reports, and other business lying on the table, and we will continue through the orders of business. First reading of Senate bills, second reading of Senate bills, third reading of Senate bills, other business of the House. Orders of the day have been completed. Colleagues, we are going to I'm going to request unanimous consent to suspend the rules to temporarily return to the order of business of courtesies. And then we will move to remonstrances and then we'll be done. Is there any objection to returning to the order of business of courtesies? Hearing none, so ordered. Are there courtesies? Representative Yunker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On the first day of session, I want to rise to give courtesies to my father, John Yunker, sitting here beside me. He adopted me when raised me, gave me the values of hard work, personal responsibility, and respect for this institution. I want to thank my dad and my mom is sitting over here because I'm only allowed to have one person here. But thank you, Mom and Dad, for being here for me today.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Elmer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning. I wanted to give courtesy to Jack and the whole clerk's team. Just on day one, you do such a great job of reading all those bills. You know, we just sit here and we talk amongst ourselves, but nice work on that. And to the whole clerk's team, thanks for all the hard work you do. We appreciate it.
That's actually really nice. That's very appreciated.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to rise today to give courtesies to my family that is here today. We have Riley, who is my daughter's dad, and my daughters who are up in the balcony. You can wave. Come on, stand up. And then we also have my mother here as well. As many of you know, I had just completed my treatment for stage 3 cervical cancer, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to be here today with you all, but with the support of my family and many people in this building on both sides of the aisle and in both chambers, I just want to give courtesies to everyone who has been supportive of me during this time. And I just wanted to be able to acknowledge that on this first day of my last short session. So thank you all.
Thank you, Representative. It's great to have you in the building today. Further courtesies. Representative Scharf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You allowed her to get in the queue before me. That was not fair. I wanted to give courtesies this morning to the best possible chair. Sorry, Rep. Graber. Chair Hartman, welcome back. It's great to see you in the chamber, and I can hardly wait to have you in committee on Thursday. It's good to see you looking so healthy, and thank you for allowing me to have your mom sit with me today.
Thank you, Representative. Further courtesies. Remonstrances. Representative Yunker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, I rise to speak about bravery. All of us in this chamber were elected to represent our districts, but representation means more than simply showing up and casting votes. We were sent here to speak hard truths, to give voice to the concerns of our constituents, and stand up where silence would be easier. We were sent here to provide honest